Apple Gift Card is a practical gift that unlocks a world of entertainment and fun. You can send it via email or give a physical card to your loved ones. Your friends and family can spend it on their favorite Apple services, including Apple subscriptions. Apple Gift Card can be used to buy all things Apple. Products, accessories, apps, games, movies, TV shows, iCloud Plus, and more. Visit apple.com for details and to send Apple Gift Cards to your friends and family this holiday season.
Next Saturday, Christmas comes early.
Unbelievable! Welcome to this incredible scene.
Bills.
To the end zone!
Chargers.
It's a touchdown!
An exclusive NFL game.
That's fantastic!
Live in primetime.
Wow!
Only on Peacock.
With a Christmas gift to their fans.
They're having some fun now.
Bills versus Chargers. Next Saturday, 7:30 Eastern. Exclusively on Peacock.
The following is a presentation of the Belly Up Sports Media Network.
Welcome to the Morgan Man Sports Podcast. I'm your host, Stacy Cole Morgan. Here on the Morgan Man Sports Podcast, we talk Atlanta Falcons news, pre-game predictions, and all other news surrounding the Atlanta Falcons.
Touchdown, Atlanta!
Also on the podcast, we talk Call of Duty League, esports covering Roster Mania, major predictions, COD champs, player trades, and much more to get you ready for every single CDL weekend.
Scuff goes through, and Scuff snaps, wins the one-on-one, and OpTic with the reverse sweep.
If that sounds good with you, put on your Falcons jersey, grab your gaming headset, and let's get this show started. What is going on, you guys? I'm your host, Stacy Cole Morgan, and you're listening to the Morgan Man Sports Podcast here on Spotify, Google Podcasts, Good Pod HQ, or wherever you find your preferred podcast. Ladies and gentlemen, today we are talking about the Major 1 Qualifiers Week 2 action alongside with the Atlanta Falcons visiting the Carolina Panthers this Sunday in an NFC South divisional matchup. So without any further delay, let's go straight into today's action. Alright guys, before we get into all that right there, if you don't mind doing me a quick favor, hit that like button here on YouTube, hit the follow button and download button if you are listening on your preferred streaming platform. It really does help out with the podcast right here. It is grinding season with the playoffs eventually coming up right here for the Atlanta Falcons. If we can stay in the hunt and win our division, and also, the Call of Duty League season is just beginning, ladies and gentlemen, and it is phenomenal with the amount of matches that are happening now every single weekend. So speaking of the NFC South divisional matchup, ladies and gentlemen, let's talk about the Falcons taking on the Carolina Panthers this Sunday in Charlotte at Bank of America Stadium. The Falcons are coming in 6-7, while the Carolina Panthers have been eliminated from the playoffs, sitting at 1 win, 12 losses. The game will start at 1 p.m. this Sunday, and Atlanta is favored by a -3 on the spread, and the public bet is taken at 77% for the Atlanta Falcons. Your money line, people are taking Atlanta as well on the money line, sitting at a -165 with a 92% public bet. And for Carolina, if you are curious, it is a +140 with an 8% public bet. The total over and under right now, ladies and gentlemen, did open up as a 35, but is now a current 34 on the point spread and is being projected as an under 34 points at a 91% public bet. So as always, I go over overall team stats. I don't go over individual stats for each matchup for the Atlanta Falcons. So this Falcons offense versus the Panthers defense. So overall, this Panthers defense is 4th overall in the National Football League, while the Falcons offense is 15th overall. So they're a mid-tier offense, still not great on passing the ball. The running game is slightly coming alive, but still needs a lot of work, especially if we are going to host a playoff game. So for passing, the Falcons for passing is 21st in the National Football League, while the Carolina defense is 3rd against the pass. Running the ball, the Falcons are the 6th best run team in the NFL, while the Panthers are 22nd against the run. So again, this is where definitely you gotta use Bijan Robertson, Tyler Algier, and Cordell Patterson to your advantage. Do not let the passing game get overwhelmed. I mean, yes, of course you are gonna have to throw the ball every once in a while, but make it to where you establish this run game first. Then you're going to create the holes that you need in the passing game for Desmond Ridder to be successful. And Desmond Ridder has been successful here a lot lately. Yes, I know everybody critiques him, but I think he's been a great quarterback for the Atlanta Falcons. He's definitely came back and won us a lot of late fourth quarter games, in my opinion, and a lot of the losses that has happened this season. Yes, there might be one or two that could fall on Desmond, but the other losses is on other teammates, not just Desmond Ridder guys. So, and that's the thing with starting quarterbacks. Yes, Desmond has no excuse now because he started pretty much a full season outside of being benched for 2 games. But still, it's just growing pains. He's learning, he's adapting to this, whole entirety of the NFL. It took Joe Burrow, yes, his whole rookie season to learn that offense and learn other teams' defenses. But that's just the nature of the game. And then the following season, boom, he's a megastar. And I feel like that's what's going to happen with Desmond Ridder. He's got a whole season under his belt. He knows the ins and outs now. He needs to just study film all season, practice with his guys, and then just push forward next season. So now moving on, I don't want to get too much. I want to rant with that right there. The Falcons defense versus the Panthers offense. So the Falcons defense has dramatically dropped from being a top 5 defense now to a top 15, sitting at 11th overall, while the Panthers offense is 30th overall in the National Football League. We are 9th against the pass, and the Panthers are 29th while passing the ball. The Panthers are 21st while running the ball, and the Falcons are 15th against the run. So we definitely got a great secondary. We got a mid-tier defensive line that can stop the run and get to the quarterback. I've noticed that a lot here lately. Thank God for Ryan Nielsen. I think he definitely deserves, a few more years in Atlanta to really up this defense and draft a few good edge rushers and maybe some interior linebackers in this year's coming NFL draft. So the Falcons are currently sitting 6-7, and realistically, guys, this Falcons team can go 10-7 this year, hosting a playoff game, winning the NFC South. Now the question is, who we're going to face? More than likely, it's going to be the Philadelphia Eagles or the Dallas Cowboys. The Eagles has really got to step their game up to win the East, and the Dallas Cowboys has just got to continue to win now. So if you're an Eagles fan, you're hoping Dallas loses, and if you're a Dallas fan, you just hope that you're continuing winning now, because that division is pretty much near about locked now if Dallas wins at least 2 more games. So again, that is what it is right now for the Falcons versus Panthers at a -3 favorite for the Atlanta Falcons. And I agree with that. I do think that this game is going to come down, as always, to a Younghoe Koo field goal, knowing it is the Atlanta Falcons. Hopefully we can make a statement game saying, look guys, we've been toying with y'all. This is the real Atlanta Falcons, so get the fuck ready. All right, let's do it. But knowing this team all year, I know that ain't going to happen. So again, -3, I'm going to be pretty happy with it. All right, guys, so moving on over to the Call of Duty League Major 1 Week 2 qualifiers. So again, the qualifiers are online now. There's no neutral location for the events, so that is kind of sad. But with all the rumors and controversy that is going on now with the Call of Duty League, maybe we can go back to the Call of Duty World League here next season and get the old format back, because I would really, really be enjoying that. So, but anyways, we got to stick with what we got right now, and that is this Friday, December 15th, the Miami Heretics taking on the Las Vegas Legion, the Los Angeles Thieves taking on the Boston Breach, and OpTic Texas taking on the Seattle Surge in your main event this Friday, December 15th. Saturday, December 16th, you got the Miami Heretics yet again with the opener against the Minnesota Vikings. The Rockers, excuse me. the Las Vegas Legion taking on the New York Subliners. Atlanta FaZe taking on the Seattle Surge. That is our kryptonite right there for the Atlanta fans. Toronto Ultra taking on the Carolina Royal Ravens in your main event for Saturday. And then Sunday, December 17th, you get the Carolina Royal Ravens opening up against OpTic Texas. The Los Angeles Guerrillas taking on the Los Angeles Thieves. The Battle of LA does start early. And the Boston Breach taking on the Toronto Ultra in your main event for Sunday, December 17th. So for the games to watch for each day, ladies and gentlemen, Friday, obviously, it's going to be OpTic Texas versus Seattle. This is where Pred is going to get his revenge game pretty much, leaving from Seattle, going to OpTic. So definitely this is the game to watch for on Friday. I mean, of course, in these other matches, Miami versus Las Vegas and, Thieves versus Boston, they're going to be great matches, but the biggest match of the entire weekend, honestly, is going to be OpTic Texas versus Seattle. Saturday, December 16th, obviously, there's going to be two right here. Atlanta FaZe versus Seattle. Is FaZe going to fall early to Seattle? Is Seattle going to be that kryptonite for Atlanta all this season? Or is Atlanta FaZe going to triumph and really win this in a dominant fashion? Or just flat out win it in kind of like a 3-2 fashion? This is where you're going to see that effect of Draza come in, I do believe. He's going to probably have that little push and oomph that the Atlanta FaZe just desperately needed during the Vanguard season with RCD still there and Slasher last season in the MW2 season. For the second match to watch out for, ladies and gentlemen, this Saturday is got to be the Toronto Ultra versus the Carolina Royal Ravens. Toronto is definitely on a roll here lately. In Carolina, they just finally won their match, so they're 1-1 right now in the season. Clayster looks very good. He's got some great games under his belt, but can it be enough to really dethrone the Prince of the North, which is Envoy? That's going to be the question. And of course, Sunday, December 17th, the match to watch out for, again, it's going to be Carolina Royal Ravens against OpTic Texas. Does OpTic look like the most dominant team? Even though they do have a loss right now, but are they going to be the most dominant team moving forward over the Carolina Royal Ravens, who do have that veteran experience in Clayster? That's going to be the question moving forward this weekend. And just rapid fire right quick, ladies and gentlemen, I will go over my predictions of each match by the score. So Miami versus Las Vegas Friday. This is on the Friday category. So Miami versus Las Vegas, 3-2 Miami. Thieves versus Boston, I'm going Boston in a 3-1. Texas versus Seattle, I'm going Texas in a 3-2. Saturday, December 16th, Miami versus Minnesota, I'm going Miami in a 3-2. Vegas versus New York, I'm going New York in a 3-1. Atlanta versus Seattle, I'm going 3-1 FaZe. Toronto versus Carolina, I'm going Toronto in a 3-1. Sunday, December 17th, I'm going Carolina versus Texas. Texas winning by a 3-2. LAG versus LAT. I'm going LAT in a 3-2. And Boston versus Toronto. Toronto winning in a 3-0 fashion this Sunday. So that is my entire weekend predictions right there, ladies and gentlemen. My games to watch. And really the player that you definitely need to be checking out as well this weekend, it's definitely got to be Sim, because he was the MVP according to GG Breaking Point last week. He's back to his Cold War days, guys. Sim has just been phenomenal. Draza has been helping this entire basically offense and defense for FaZe. Celium is doing Celium things, and BZ is just going off on kills. This is going to be the game where I think FaZe can honestly win the World Championship. But again, it's way too early in the season. Toronto could win it this year, win their very first one. But who knows? But right now, it's a hard lock for me, at least, to have FaZe and Toronto in the grand finals. Those are going to be the two hottest teams, I do think, this season. But that's way ahead of time right now. But let's enjoy this week 2 qualifiers for the Major 1 tournament that will be coming up in late January. And for CDO points, I do want to throw this out right here, guys. So the Atlanta FaZe obviously 2-0. Surge is 2-0. New York's 2-0. Miami is 1-0 with only one match, and they are 3-0 in the map win-loss ratio. Toronto Ultra is also undefeated with 10 points. OpTic is 1-1 on the season with a 5-4 map loss ratio. So definitely some struggles right there already. Legion looks pretty good, Carolina. And then after that, Boston all the way down to the Los Angeles Thieves with 0 CDL points. So it's looking pretty good right now if you are the FaZe, Surge, Subliners, and Heretics fans. And of course, Ultra and OpTic. But OpTic has really got to step their game up this weekend to really show their dominance and say, all right, look, we signed Pred for a reason. And this is not the reason. We got to get out there and totally F shut up. It's just got to be that. So, guys, I hope you did enjoy it. If you did, make sure to like button wherever you are listening from. iHeartRadio, Spotify, Google Podcasts, Good Pod HQ, Belly Up Sports Network. Guys, it is a tremendous time to be a part of the Belly Up Sports Network. Great things are coming in the year of 2024. The podcast has definitely been phenomenal with some downloads, some listenership, and hopefully we continue to grow that this year. And I'm gonna go ahead and just say this while we're on the air. I do want to make this public, saying that yes, I've not been the best in like the content creation side of things outside of podcasting, but hopefully this year, guys, I will be able to change that to start posting more, GIFs or images, whatever the case may be, and hopefully start working on some more video podcasting. That way I could get out of that rhythm of just having the audio only. Upload it to YouTube. You can have a full facial feature of me talking right here, and we could go forward from there. But that is on me, guys. But you guys have definitely been killing it, regardless with the audio on YouTube, and I do greatly appreciate that. But guys, hope y'all have an amazing Friday right here. Let's go FaZe and let's go Atlanta Falcons. But until then, I, Morgan Man, will catch you later. Peace.
Thank you for listening to this Belly Up Sports Podcast Network product. Some said we go belly up, so we made it our name, and we're still here.